So, my name is Obijackson Group, and I am here with Dr. Chukwueloka Umeh. So, I'll want him to speak to us about a few things, but before then, he will do us the honor of introducing himself to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kosi. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you to the organizers for inviting me to this session. My name is Dr. Chukwueloka Umeh, but in Igbo land I'm known as Eze Chinemelo Nanobi. I am the Group Chief Operating Officer of Nestoil Group. I do several things. I'm an engineer by training. I'm an aerospace engineer by training, with a specialty in clean gas turbine engine combustion. But I do several things. So I'm responsible for our pipeline business, oil and gas pipeline business. Responsible for our aviation business. I'm a director of Smile Telecoms, and I'm also interested in the entertainment industry. I've made a movie, and I'm getting ready to do several more, amongst other things that I do. Thanks again for having me here.
So we are going to be discussing about the economic and social progress of Igbos and its relation to culture and tradition. So my first question would be, morality plays an important role in the day-to-day life of a community. So if you can give us the cause and effects of the shift in the belief system, which stands as a bedrock of morality in Igbo society, and go further to tell us ways it can be improved to foster growth of Ndi Igbo, economically and otherwise.
All right, thank you for that question. That's a very big question, because there's so many subtopics within that question that you just asked. But in just interest of time, I will keep it very brief, but I'll try and touch on the most important points within that topic. The Igbo belief system is centered around their spirituality. You cannot talk about culture and tradition without also talking about spirituality. And as you may know, the Igbo spirituality starts from their belief in God, Chukwu Abiyama, the Supreme Spirit, who is knowledge and wisdom that reveals itself. And Chukwu Abiyama is also called several other names, including Okike Kelefe and Owa Walefe. Now, Chukwu, as the Supreme Spirit, broke himself into pieces, or itself into pieces. And what that means is that everything in this universe has a part of Chukwu. So every single thing, human life, plants, animals, inanimate objects, spiritual objects that you cannot see, spiritual beings, all have a chi that is a part of God. And what that really means is that we are all united in that Chukwu. Collectively, we make up Chukwu. So our belief really takes us to a point where you understand that we are all the same. We are all united. So what you do to someone else, you're doing to yourself, right? And so on and so forth. Now, Igbo people also believe in several different spirits or forces or deities that are still collectively part of Chukwu. And this forms the basis of the morality. When you look at the way we worship, you would hear axioms like, which simply says the spirit child should not mistreat the human child, and the human child should not mistreat the spirit child. What this boils down to is really the golden rule, what we tout as the golden rule: do unto others as you will do unto yourself, as you have them do unto you. And at the very basis of this is love. Love for yourself, love for your neighbor as you love yourself. This is what the Igbos truly believe. And some other religions will latch on this. For example, in Christianity, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, they say that the greatest of all virtues is love. This is what Igbos truly believe. And from that belief, they treat everything on earth the way they also want to be treated. And this is the way it used to be. So you find that in the traditional Igbo setting, there were no ills. There were no crimes, so to speak of. People behaved in a certain way. Morality was the watchword of every society in Igbo land. This is the way it used to be. Now, we also believe in the law of karma, the law of retributive justice, which simply says you get what you sow, you reap what you sow. It's the law of retributive justice. If you do good, you will get good. If you do bad, you will get bad, either in this life or on the next life. So death does not absolve you of anything that you have done in this life. We also believe in reincarnation. So that being said, whatever you do on this plane, if you don't atone for this in this life, you will atone for it in the next life or the next life after that, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't just stop with you. It can also affect your generations. So because of that, people were compelled to do right. Now, our belief system centered around this karmic laws also meant that if you do good, you must be rewarded with good. Either you or your generations to come after you will be rewarded. Okay? Now, in Igbo society, there are ways of instituting justice. You know, there are laws, and there were methods around those laws that were used to enforce them. For example, Enweyi, for example, taking an oath. Because they had belief in different spirits, different deities that ultimately serve God, they believe that if someone does something and does not own up to it, and they will have everyone take an oath, whoever is responsible will be dealt with by the deity controlling that oath. And there was no way around it. Now, that is in direct variance with what we have today. You would have people stand up in a court of law, hold a holy book, raise their right hand, and swear that everything they're saying, or they will say and are saying, is the truth, so help them God. But you know that nothing will happen if you lie. Because there's also the belief today that if you do, well, no matter what you do, as long as you believe in Jesus and as long as you ask for forgiveness, you're forgiven and all your sins will be washed away. So you find people will commit all kinds of crimes. On Sunday, they will go to church or wherever religious house they will go to. They will pray, they will give money or gifts or whatever, and they believe that they're absolved of their crimes. And so there's no motivation really to do good. This is in direct variance with what Igbos really believe. This is in direct contradiction with what we believed and what drove our doing good things. But now, you also know that everything is created in pairs. This is what we believed. There's Enu, heaven, there's Ani, earth. There's man, there's woman. There's also good and there's bad. Every created being had free will to do good or to do bad. It's your choice, really. But because of what we believe, we are compelled to do good. So this is where we started, this is where we came from, and this is where we are today. Unfortunately, most Igbos have forgotten all the things I just described, or just don't basically know these things I just described. They were never taught. They were only taught forgiveness of sin, which is what we're dealing with today. And that's why you see all the ills of the society today. How does this relate to what we do in the society, what we do as our work? People today believe in ocha bute, ocha bute. So if it's ripe, pluck it. If it's not ripe, still pluck it. That's not what we used to believe in Igbo land back in the days. In Igbo land, we also believe that everybody in this earth, on this earth, has their own destiny, which is their onatalochi, that thing that you derived from your chi, that is written in your akalaka. everybody has a function that they came to earth to perform. Some people are meant to be very wealthy. Some people are meant to serve the wealthy. Some people are meant to be disabled, and so on and so forth. And you're supposed to be content with whatever destiny you were given. We say dibia da agwa natalachi, ife dine look at dibia na agwa da agwa natalachi. So a dibia, a master of knowledge and wisdom, which is dibia, is really here to help alleviate our sufferings, but they can never change your destiny. Your destiny is what it is, and you're expected to be content with your post in life. You're supposed to work hard, however, but you're supposed to be content with whatever lot you're given, and you're supposed to understand that whatever your destiny is will be and cannot be changed. So with that in mind, if you're not a very rich man, you didn't bother about it because you still had something to eat. If you're a rich man, you understood that that is a gift that's given to you. That is what you came here to do, and you did not take it flippantly, right? Lastly, we also had the belief of so I would rather be related to a wealthy person than to be fed by a wealthy person, because if you were related to a wealthy person, or you knew a wealthy person, or you were in good stead with a wealthy person, they are in a position to help you whatever you need, right? If you needed an introduction, they will make it. You needed to anything you needed, they will help you. However, today everybody wants to be a rich person, whether it is your destiny or it's not. There's nothing wrong with aspiring. However, because people are indiscriminately looking for wealth, they're willing to do anything at all to make it. Steal, lie, do rituals, whatever, to make it without thinking of the far-reaching consequences which must be dealt with under the karmic law. That's where we are today, unfortunately.
Right. You said quite a lot. So my next question would be, before Igbos had the culture of Onyaya na Nwanne, which was a concept that encouraged communal growth, which by extension affects the social progress of Ndi Igbo.
Well, you know, Igbos have come a long way. And Igbos are known as one of the, if not the most enterprising race of people on earth today. Any land you go to and you don't see an Igbo man, there's either nothing good happening there or it's a bad land and you should leave immediately. Now, Igbo people, in doing this, still understood or still embraced the concept of Onyaga na Nwanne, which means nobody should leave his or her brother or sister behind. Because we believe that when we urinate together, it produces froth. So in that, we do things collectively. And Nwanne is a loose term generally used for whoever you take as your kith and kin. It could be somebody that is from your nuclear family, somebody that's from your town, or just basically somebody that's Igbo. So we watched out for each other. You still find remnants of that today, where somebody moves to a place and they start a business and they will reach back to their town and call their own people to come and join. Some people still do that, but to a large extent, Igbo people are now so individualistic that that mindset of Onya Nwanne is not really being embraced anymore. Now, what happened to us? In the pursuit of survival, probably also as a result of the Civil War that we are still trying to recover from, we were forced to focus on self-preservation. And now that self-preservation, unfortunately, now made us so individualistic that sometimes we are forced to focus only on ourselves and our immediate family to the detriment of everyone else. Also, with the advent of the religions that we see today, where unfortunately, very unscrupulous, supposedly men of God would always, will I say, latch onto people's sufferings to milk them of their hard earned wealth. You find someone has a problem, they go for prayers, and they'll be told, "Oh, one again a megafa," or "No, your uncle in a village in a megafa," or "No, you can't on a meginka." This simply means it is your uncle in the village that's doing this to you, or it is that your brother or your sister or your auntie or your uncle that's doing this to you, and so on and so forth. So you find that the seed of discord was sowed. People no longer reached back to help their own families or their own kind because of the suspicion that was sown that it is your own blood that is trying to bring you down. You find that we used to say, "Osochiba nwoke, onana ngwu, ochiba nwanyi, onana akwali," which really means, when I boil it down to the bare essence, that if a man has a problem, he goes back to his own people. If a woman has an issue or is being pursued for whatever, she goes back to her own people. Now, what we say is, if your own people do not kill you, you will ripen in age, or you become old on this earth, right? So you now find that you are more afraid of your own people than you are of outsiders and foreigners. And because of that, today what you find is a lot of Igbo people, when they make money, they want nothing to do with their own people. The people also that are not so well-to-do, rather than being content with their lot in life and being grateful for whatever they get from their own kids and kin that are doing better than they are, would rather look for ways to bring them down. So Igbo people are now like crabs. If you put a crab in a container, one crab, it will find a way out of the container. But if you put two or more crabs in a container, as one is trying to make its way out, the other one will pull it down. And so they all never get out of that container. That is exactly what's happening to Igbo people today. Now think about this. We have silos of very wealthy, well-to-do Igbo people. We have extremely intellectual, extremely intelligent Igbo professionals all over the world. In a place like America, for example, it is said that Nigerians make up the most educated ethnic group in the US. And out of that, most of them are Igbos. Doctors, engineers, scientists, lawyers, and so on and so forth, mainly Igbo people doing fantastic things all over the world. Even in Nigeria, there are Igbo people who are extremely intelligent, who are doing extremely well. However, Akwade Lusiono, they don't want to come home because what they're told is, if you come home, these people will kill you in one way or the other. So you find that all these people that are doing well never really bring this knowledge home. They never really bring this wealth home to help their own people because they're afraid. So it is partly because of the individualistic nature that we have now developed, partly because of the fear that is sown by these religious organizations and these unscrupulous people, and mostly because of the fear that all this work that I'm doing will come to naught because of people who want to do harm to me. Imagine 10 very wealthy Igbo men coming together, or Igbo women coming together to say we're going to develop something in Igbo land. Maybe we're going to build one piece of infrastructure. Maybe it's roads. Maybe it's power. Anything at all. Imagine the effect that they would have. But they don't do it because everybody is in their own little silo doing their own thing. Also, we have forgotten as a people the reverence, the respect that we were taught to have of our elders. Our moral system is broken. We no longer have respect for elders. So you find that even the people that are doing well, you find a 30-year-old person that makes money, that becomes wealthy through whatever means, speaking to a 60-year-old man with gray hairs in a very disrespectful manner, or whatever. This is what we see today as Igbo people. So our moral system, our social system has been completely changed with our pursuit for just wealth. That is a problem that we must start to address as Igbo people, amongst other things.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My third and final question would be: you mentioned religious factors and social factors that cause disruptions in the way we live our lives today. So, is there a way to create a synergy between what was and what is to have like a better atmosphere for the enhancement of economic growth as Ndibo?
I will take this question and I will go back a little bit to our spirituality. We are now in what is known as the Aquarian age, the age of wisdom, and the age of enlightenment. Young Igbo people are beginning to ask questions about who they are, where they came from. They're beginning to ask questions and show interest in our original spirituality, our own original system of spirituality. And in doing this, they're beginning to find out that what we had before is much better than what we were given. And in doing this, they're also finding that Igbo people have all the tools, all the ingredients to be great. The way that we can find who we, or go back to who we were and take our place really in the world as a great race is to embrace again what we used to have. Back in the days, there were no problems that Igbo people had that could not be solved. Remember, it is said that Igbo people are the original Egyptians. I mean, there's been a lot of studies done to find out who Igbo people are. Some people say Igbo people are the Jews. We're not the Jews. We're older than the Jews. It said that we are the original Egyptians. We taught the world how to read and write as Egyptians. We brought civilization to the world. So if we realize this, then we know that we have all the tools to become great again. For us to do that, we must once again embrace our old system of spirituality. I'm not suggesting that everybody becomes a Dibian, not at all. I'm not suggesting that everybody will go and start, saying prayers the way we used to. I mean, there's an old saying that goes, so when you're learning the ways of the Western world, also learn the ways of the ancient Igbo people so that your learning will be complete. It is said that Onya Manneaha Mandi Ushiaka. So he or she who knows their ancestors will know the old ways. He who knows his or her father and his forefather before that will know the old ways. If we do that, then we should now realize that we have all the tools in our bag of tricks to become a great race again. Now, that having been said, we will also embrace that thing that we used to say, Akulono Okwebosi. So when your wealth goes home, it will say where it came from. And that will compel us to only do good. In our chasing economic betterment, we will remember that we must keep our hands clean. So any money we make, we can stand firm and say, this is where it came from. This is what I did. And that forces us to do whatever we're doing well. If you say you want to be a doctor, you will do it well. If you say you want to be a plumber, you'll be the best plumber there is. If you want to be a carpenter, you'll be the best carpenter there is. And so on and so forth. Now, having said this, we have millions of Igbo people everywhere. These people can go back to contribute to the greatness of the Igbo land. You will have people who will be there to help build up the infrastructure. You have people who will help to bring us back to our original prowess of, being masters of agriculture. You have people who will take us back to our original prowess of being master blacksmiths. I mean, of course, you're going to now take that and translate that to the modern ways. You know, we have scientists today. I'm a scientist, for example. You know, we know how to make many things. And you have people who will be some of the best doctors you find anywhere in the world. Now, with all these things, all this knowledge and all these skills sent back to help develop our people, you'd find that we will start to build a nation that is greater than most nations that you can imagine. They say that Igbos have the ability to be the Japan of Africa. To be the Japan of Africa, you must learn to do things well. No matter what it is you're doing, you must learn to do it well. We have the ability to do this, and we've been given the resources to do this. Now, imagine that in Igbo land, we have the largest, probably the largest gas deposits in Nigeria today. How much gas do we produce in Igbo land today? You probably have some gas fields in around the Imo state that producing. In the Anambra Basin, we're not producing any gas, really. So imagine if we were producing gas, natural gas, in the southeast. Imagine if we had power plants using some of that gas to produce power, steady, reliable power. Imagine what will happen to a place like Aba. Aba used to be a manufacturing hub in Igbo land many years ago. They could make anything, shoes, textiles, fabrics, whatever, they made it. Places like in Newi, they made spare parts. They still make some spare parts, but I think they're making those spare parts at a very low capacity compared to what is possible. We produced rubber, we produced palm produce. We had all kinds of agricultural produce in the southeast. Imagine if we were producing petrochemicals, fertilizer to help us farm more efficiently. We will produce a lot of agricultural produce, enough to sustain Nigeria, enough to export, and so on and so forth. Imagine if we had handymen, craftsmen, producing all kinds of things. Imagine what the infrastructure in Igbo land would look like. Now, we've done this in many other places. In Lagos, for example, Lagos is a wonderful place because it's giving people the opportunity, it's giving Igbo people the opportunity. Remember, some Igbo traders were driven out of Lagos Island to a place now called Alaba. What did we create? In our lifetime, over about 20 years, one of the largest electronic markets that you can imagine, driven by Igbo people. In our lifetime, we've seen this happen. You see houses, you see hotels, you see businesses in different parts of Nigeria owned by Igbo people. And this was created just after the war, just from 1970 till today. 50 years. Imagine what Igbo people can do if they say, you know what, let's focus only on Igbo land for just 20 years. Imagine what we could do. Imagine if we said, let us have some of these rich people that know how to attract money, foreign investment, come to Igbo land, bring in a lot of investment, build an airport so that we can have people traveling whenever for business safely. Dredge River Niger so we can export our goods down the River Niger to the ocean and then from there to foreign lands. Do agriculture, invest in agriculture so we produce food and so on and so forth. Build our own infrastructure. Imagine what Igbo land will be like. So I said to people graduating from school today, it's great to look for a job. What if you can't find a job? Think of a trade. A lot of our people are now going into IT. A lot of our people are going into music, movies, and so on and so forth. There is so much opportunity for our people in these industries. Think of Onitsha, the main market in Onitsha, the largest open air market in West Africa. What could these people do if some of them go into e-commerce? They would form companies that will compete with the Amazons of this world, with the Alibaba of this world, with Kongas of this world, only in Southeast. So there's so much that our people can do if only they would focus. If only we will stop chasing instant gratification, chasing money. Everybody wants to blow today. If only we'll focus and go back to the basics, which is learn a trade and be the best at it. Learn to do business, honest business, and be the best at it. Remember that you have a family name to protect. Don't
focused on making money however it is. Forget that and remember who we used to be. Igbo people will be a huge force to reckon with anywhere in the world. We'll probably be better than Japan if we do this. Korea has done it. Why can't we do it as a people? We have the intellect, we have the means, we have the support. We just need to focus. We need to love one another again. We need to remember Onyaga na Nwanneya. We need to remember Enyimba Enyi, doing things collectively. We need to remember all this, and we can't remember all this unless we go back to start tracing our roots back to who we were, who we used to be, how we used to live, how we used to practice. Back in the days, I'm sorry that this is running a little bit long, but remember back in the days, there were stories of if a stranger comes into a town and you're thirsty, there used to be a pot of water in a village square. You would simply go there, drink water, take a cup of water and drink without fear of anything bad happening to you. Today, you would never, a lot of people wouldn't even eat in their own brother's house for fear of being poisoned. So we need to love ourselves again as Igbo people and go back to who we used to be. This is the only way Igbo people will survive as a race, here in Nigeria and outside Nigeria.
Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful session, and I believe we've learned a lot from all you've said. Thank you. Igwe. Thank you so much.
You said it all.
Thank you so much.